How do the Vikings stack up with the competition in the playoffs? Let's first take a look at the NFC playoff picture as it stands right now. Eagles and Vikings, I think, are locked in at 1 and 2. The 3 seed still up for grabs could be a flip between San Francisco and Seattle for whatever mess comes out of the NFC South. 5 and 6, it will stay between Dallas and Giants, no particular order. And then you've got the 7 seed, Washington, currently 1 game ahead of Seattle. And actually, not even, because after next Sunday, Washington, they've got their bye week, so things could really even itself out. But the more that I think about it, I just don't believe Taylor Heineke, unless their defense, Washington's defense, really shows out the rest of the way. I just don't believe Taylor Heineke can weather the storm of Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks breathing down their necks. And even if Seattle were to win the NFC West and get the 3 seed, they're certainly not going to beat San Francisco for the 7 seed. But for all intents and purposes, I believe for my projection, I'm giving the 7th seed to Seattle. Based off that, here's how the Vikings match up in the NFC playoffs. I think it's safe to say that whatever success the Vikings have this postseason is going to be because of the offense. This defense is so bad. It reminds me of early in my fandom days with watching Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss and Michael Bennett and Jim Kleinsasser carry this team with no defense to help them out. This defense is so bad that every quarterback that they faced outside of Aaron Rodgers in week 1 has absolutely teed them up. When Mac Jones can go off on your defense, anything's possible. These playoffs, you're talking about going up against quarterback-wise, Jalen Hurts, Jimmy G, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, and based off my 7 seed projection, lead candidate for comeback player of the year, Geno Smith. Not one of these teams do I look at and say, okay, the Vikings defense, they can give their offenses some problems. The Vikings offense has to be the driving force. And with the 2 seed, you're looking at least 2 home games, provided you win, of course. And if Philadelphia manages to get eliminated early, all of a sudden, Minnesota, you're the top dog. Versus Seattle. Their defense could not be more similar to Minnesota, as in bottom 3, but they force turnovers. This comes down to Kirk Cousins versus Geno Smith. Smith is definitely having a better statistical year than Kirk, although I feel like there's more to this Vikings offense than has been shown already. That is, of course, if Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips can figure it out. But the playoffs start, jitters go up, you're at home, and I believe this will be your wild card matchup versus the Seattle Seahawks. I think Kirk Cousins, with more experience, he gets the job done. Versus New York, Vikings should have no problem outpacing a Giants passing attack consisting of Daniel Jones, Darius Slayton, and Richie James. Where the problem lies here, however, is Saquon Barkley. If you can't control the run game, Giants, they control time of possession. And on a neutral field, I believe this would spell upset alert, but because you're at home, I think the Vikings narrowly escape. Against Dallas, I pray to God that 40-3 beatdown was just a blip. Vikings feeling themselves after the emotional win against Buffalo the week before. Kirk O'Chain's caught off guard. If that game was a fart, I believe this matchup will be a shootout. Dallas, they have playmakers all over the place, including their running backs. You're going to need for this game a vintage Dalvin Cook performance. Can the offensive line hold up against Michael Parsons this time? I believe this game is a true coin flip. Tampa Bay. I get that it's Tom Brady in the playoffs, but they're a bad football team. You look at their losses, they're 5 and 6 right now. You look at their losses, Cleveland last week, 18-point loss to Carolina. You lost to Pittsburgh, a barn burner loss to Green Bay at home. I'm not worried about Tampa Bay at all. I'm just not. San Francisco scares the hell out of me. Jimmy G, he's okay, but their defense brings it all together. The Niners are a team where in the regular season they can be whatever, but once the playoffs start, they're a matchup nightmare. You can't play soft against this team because they will beat the hell out of you. They've got a great defense. They run the football well. Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. I hope they can avoid this game in the playoffs because I don't like this matchup for the Vikings at all. And lastly, the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, Philly will be the favorites here, plus they're at home. Jalen Hurts and that offense, they'll throw so many different looks and misdirection plays at you. But I really want a playoff win at the Link against the Eagles. I still haven't gotten over 2017. I want revenge, damn it. But I think this can be a close game. Week 2, yes, it was a bad loss, but you got to remember, that drop by Irv Smith Jr. changed everything. So if the Vikings can pull off the upset, great. If not, this will be the game that ultimately gets Ed Donatel fired. So just to recap, Seattle, New York, Tampa, I like the Vikings' chances. Dallas is a toss-up. Philly and San Francisco, those are the ultimate beasts. This video is brought to you by Modest Brewing, located at 505 North 3rd Street in Minneapolis, open 7 days a week, 20 flavors on tap. If you're into seltzers, they've got that too. Strawberry vanilla, mango passion fruit, blackberry lime, and pineapple raspberry. For a chance to win a $25 gift card to Modest Brewing, I'm going to make a post on my Facebook account, facebook.com/realisticrandy, asking you, the viewers out there or those that follow the page, who in the playoffs scare you the most as far as a potential matchup for your Minnesota Vikings squad? Let me know your thoughts. Reply with your comments underneath that post. And one person will be selected at random for that gift card to Modest Brewing. We'll say it will be announced noon, Friday, Central Standard Time. We're back at it tomorrow. We'll see you then.